Good morning. My name is Ralf Friedrichs. I am an addiction recovery coach, a life coach, and the host of this show, the Take Your Life Back Today radio show. You can see a video version of this if you just go to YouTube and go to channel Take Your Life Back Today show, or just type in the search bar on YouTube my name, Ralf Friedrichs. Folks, I have accepted a 21-day complaint-free challenge from our pastor in church. You can see me wearing the bracelet. If I even complain on day 20 of the 21 days, I start again. 21 days are consecutive days of no complaining. But is that really possible? Let's do it together, you and I, my audience. Here are some ideas to help you get through your 21 day of complaints. First thing is not to complain, obviously. So 10 ways to complain less and be happier. Instead of complaining that the rose bush is full of thorns, be happy that the thorn bush has roses. Think about that. The glass is half full, not half empty. We all complain. Even if you argue that you are the happiest person in the world, you still complain sometimes, don't you? Sometimes we complain without even realizing it. I know I do that quite often, but rarely is it helpful. Sure, a common complaint can bond two people who may have had nothing in common, but too much complaining, my friends, would just break down the relationship. For an example, I once had a friend who constantly griped about his health, his family, his relationships, school, and the list goes on and on and on. Every time I hung out with him, I felt drained afterward. No matter what I said or did, it never seemed to cheer him up. There is no arguing that he was going through a tough time, but his negative attitude certainly made matters worse. Eventually, we grew apart because it was more than I could handle at the time of my own life, which wasn't that happy itself. So what happens if you are the one stuck in a negative attitude? We've all been there. I know I sure have. There are days when everything seems to go wrong and complaining is the easiest thing to do. It's like taking a sponge and wringing yourself out. It's easier to complain instead of fixing a problem, like quitting a job or having a talk with someone. Just complain, right? No, it doesn't work that way. But I find that when you try to see things from a different perspective and challenge yourself to stop complaining, it is possible. Impossible separated as I'm possible. Here are some tips to stop complaining and ditch the negative thoughts so you can focus on finding solutions and possibly make that 21-day challenge happen. Number one is change the way you think. That's the most logical one. This is definitely easier than done. Our brains tend to gravitate toward the negative. Much like the quote above, we are bothered first by the thorns in the rose bush instead of being marveled by the sight of the beautiful roses themselves presented. This requires a new practice of being mindful. When you find yourself thinking or saying a negative comment about something or someone, stop and force yourself to say something positive instead. Enlist the help of a cheerful friend to stop you when you complain and help you to see the positive in the situation. Even this 21-day challenge, get together with people that are doing it. It becomes almost like a game. Allow yourself to vent is number two. Every once in a while, you need to do that. Constantly ignoring your negative thoughts could add up. If you really are going through a rough time, don't be afraid to share that. Share it with the feelings with a close friend or family member, or see a therapist. Don't feel ashamed if you need to talk through negative feelings. Absolutely don't be ashamed of that. Number three is, I'm not so much into this, but maybe you will, but practice yoga. Yoga is a great way to exercise, relax, and learn to be mindful. Yoga focuses on breathing, movement, and meditation, and helps you to control your mind and body. Our minds often race in a million directions and opposite directions. Yoga can help calm your racing thoughts and be more positive with your intentions. My yoga is my meditation with my Lord Jesus Christ. Number four is train yourself to be less judgmental. We often complain about what others say and do because we think that they are not up to our standards. Once you stop judging people without knowing their stories, you will most likely complain less about the things people do. For an example, constantly complaining about the service in a restaurant is not helpful. You don't know what kind of day your waiter or waitress might be having, or what problems that are going on behind the scenes, or maybe even their own personal lives. If you put yourself in their shoes just for a minute, you may be more kind and relaxed about the situation you're in. Number 5 is make a list of things that you are grateful for. Stopping for a minute and thinking of all the great things and amazing people in your life will probably put any silly complaints you had to rest, or at least sidelined. Number 6 is be the change you wish to see the world. Next time you are with your friends, family, or co-workers and engaged in a complaint fest, speak up or quiet down. Depending on the crowd, either speak up to stop the complaining and change the subject to something sunnier, or simply be quiet and don't complain yourself. Don't be part of that crowd. Number 7 is accept responsibility. If something is bothering you, either fix it or accept it. The nothing can be done right now, so why complain? Complaining is a passive activity. Change the complaining into action to solve the problem, or simply accept it and give your mind something else to focus on. Number 8 is find what makes you happy. Find what makes you happy. Sometimes this list can be easy, full of hobbies you enjoy. Sometimes it requires deeper introspection. Are you constantly complaining about your job? Maybe it's time to make that hard decision to move on to another job or even a career. Uncover what your biggest complaints are about and see if you can change the situation to make you happier, less complaining. Number 9 is take care of yourself. Take care of yourself. Stress and a busy lifestyle can often take over our lives and break down anyone's positive spirit. Take time out from your life for just you. Do some you time. Make sure you get to see the movie you were dying to watch. Take a hot bath. Head to your exercise class. Get a manicure. Play sports, or do whatever relaxes you and energizes you. It could just put you in a whole new frame of mind, my friends. Number 10, simply ask yourself when you open your mouth, would you rather complain or be happy? It's a simple answer, happy. Choose happiness, focusing on the positive, and being kind always is a happy thing. It is your choice, no one else's. So be happy, stop complaining, and accept the 21-day challenge. Call me at 844-405-HELP. Together we can help each other take our lives back. Be good to yourselves and always be good to each other. And remember, a simple smile to a total stranger can change that stranger's life forever. It can help you in your own life. May God bless each and every one of you. Accept that 21-day challenge today. And remember, the complaining has to stop. And